So once again, here's my problem. I set it back to the way that actually does work on the CMOD on my FPGA board. I modified this so I can use a little key space right here. If I toggle in between 1 and a 0, you can see everything toggles. You know, it all works on here like I think it should have to work. Here I'm going to ground out 33 because I do have a digital mini sys. My digital proto board is what's called. I'll show that to you in a second. Grounds out 33. 33 should light up. 33 is the 4. So that's first of all weird that it's the 4, and then so it's sending out a signal of 1. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Maybe this is where I'm getting part of it wrong. Here it says not A, B. So if I'm getting a signal here, is it the case that B lights up? It seems like that's what it does because it selects B, which is hot, or 1, sends through a 1, inverts it to a 0, and of course it doesn't light up. Okay, so this, and you can go down through all these things. You know, of course they're all just going to be kind of the same thing. Right? It's going to invert them and send out a signal. Let's switch it over to 0. So now I am getting a 0 value here. You can see that's why this second thing lights up. So I'm going to get a 0 here. Now it's my understanding that it, since it's a 0, it selects the not A value. So is that not A or A? I'm not sure. So let's just say it selects A, and then that's a ground. So it sends through a 0. It inverts it here to a 1, and that's why it's lit up. So it seems to make sense that I don't know why it says not A here, to be honest with you. But it seems like that's how it works. Here, down here, since this is ground, it's going to select A. A is 1, 1, 0. Of course, not lit up. So 31 should be getting a 0. Now here's my conundrum, though, is that this does not represent the number 4. This represents the opposite of 4, right? So in here, this is supposed to be 8, but it doesn't represent 8. It represents the opposite of 8. They're all off. Everything's off. Furthermore, 33 is being grounded, but 33 is supposed to be 4, and 34 is supposed to be 8. So I'm just not getting why it's doing this. Let me show you on my proto board here. Here it is. So I've got a digital mini sys, and what I did is I've put on my slider switch here to do it. So you see that it works. And what I've done up here, also I've put in some little indicators. This tells me which one is grounded. So in this case, the first one is grounded and the second one is hot, meaning that I'm going to light up the first LED 7-segment display, which is what's going on. That the 8 lights up. If I switch it, of course this one's grounded now, right? So the 4 should light up, and sure enough, the 4 lights up. This is the segment. I just have A and B being represented here. So if I go down here, both A and B are represented in the H. You can see it's a little bit more dim, but A and B light up. You go up. A is not lit up, and it's not lit up down here. And it's lit up here, so it's lit up here. So it seems to work fine on my proto board, although I don't get why it works fine. Here it's showing me that, you know, A should be lit up. But when I go here, A is not lit up. So I'm having a tough time in my mind figuring out why this works exactly opposite. It's almost like this setup is a common anode setup, but I am sure this is a common cathode display. I mean, we've been messing with this all year. I'm sure that this is a common cathode display. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I understand it. So this thing does work, but it's almost like I have to send out the exact opposite value here to get it to show the right thing on the proto board. So see what you can make of that. See if that helps. See if that makes my question any more clear.